All right, so another short video here, and as the title says, this is about the durability of the Samsung S Pen from my perspective. I'm just gonna call it from the perspective of the average user. Let's take a look. Now, I do like to make short videos like this one based off of questions that, I ask in the comment section, and you do know that I go through all of my comments. Now, I'm in no shape or form an expert in pencils and stylus and things like that, but I'm going to tell you that I am a long time S Pen user. In fact, my very first Samsung S Pen was on the phone, the Galaxy Note 2, and that was well over 8 or 9 years ago, and I've been a fan of the S Pen ever since. Today, however, I'm focusing on S Pens in regards to tablets, right? Using them with tablets. Now, as a side note here, I want to add that the S Pens on the Samsung phones definitely seem to be a lot more solid than those made for Galaxy tablets, at least at first glance. The last S Pen that I had on the phone was that of the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and that thing was premium and built like a tank. Unless you were actively trying to break that pen, it wasn't gonna go anywhere. But anyways, I digress here. With all of this being said, here's the first thing you need to know. The durability of your S Pen is heavily gonna depend on quite a few variables that I'm gonna list shortly here. I just want to remind you that I'm doing a giveaway next week. Probably next week for sure. So you want to make sure that you are subscribed and that you hit that bell notification so that you'll be alerted as soon as I officially announce it and push it out. But anyways, some variables that you should consider are things like the type of S Pen or the type of nibs that your S Pen has. Whether you have a screen protector on your tablet, or more what type of screen protector you have on your tablet. How well or the way you hold your pen when writing, or how much pressure you apply when writing with that S Pen. And of course, most importantly, how often you do use the said S Pen. Now, these are just a few variables among many others, right? So I just want to go ahead and establish that baseline. Now, here is the main point that I want to emphasize. The actual pen on its own, and by that I mean the body of the pen itself, is pretty durable. So as we talk durability here, it should focus a lot more on the nibs of these pens as opposed to the pen as a whole, because if you think about it, or if you hold a pen, it's a solid piece of accessory, right? The only thing you should be worrying about is just that nib, right? So if you're asking me how durable is the pen, I'd tell you it's actually very durable. It would last you a while, as long as you change the nibs. It's like saying how durable is a Toyota Camry. I'd be like, that's a great car. All you have to do is just make sure that you maintain, change the tires, change oil and all that stuff. But the car itself as a whole, will last you a while. So you got to look at the S Pen the same way. The nibs would be the one thing that, you change as far as the maintenance of the pen itself. Now, unless you are always chewing on it or something, or constantly slamming it against the desk, it's actually a very solid build. It is typically made of plastic, but generally it's great quality and will last a long time. Now, I have found that the stock nibs, so the tips that do come with this S Pen, they actually do last a while, as long as I use it with the actual screen that comes with the tablet, without the screen protector is what I mean. So as long as I use this against that glass, it would last a while. As you may know, it has that rubber tip, which is the reason it provides way better feedback with perfect drawing resistance compared to the Apple Pencil. But of course, it does wear out, and that's the reason you have the option to easily replace it. Now, the reason I brought up screen protectors because I have one on almost all of my tablets, and I wanted to bring up the fact that I added one to my Tab S7 here, and it's not a good one. So if you happen to pick up something like this, you are most likely going to damage the nib of your pen. Now, I used this for about a month and a half, pretty close to 2 months, without a screen protector, and it was fine. And I added this screen protector here, and a few weeks into it, my S Pen started to fray a little. It's starting to kind of, break down. And I'm not sure if I'm just bringing this to the camera and see if you can hear it. So that's the that's the sound that the screen protector is making. It's like paper, like sandpaper, I want to say. Sandpaper. So when you write on it with using the S Pen, that's not a good sound. So it is definitely starting to go. You want to make sure that you avoid purchasing this type of screen protector. Here's my take overall. The S Pen is just solid, and the nib, again, is what needs replacement. That amazing feedback that you get from writing with the S Pen, it does come at a cost, which is of course that rubber tip, meaning it won't last as long as a plastic tip, which by the way you can also get. The good news is that you can buy replacement tips for just a few dollars off of Amazon, or you can simply buy some plastic tips and that will last a little longer than the rubber tips. Now the big takeaway here is simply that this whole thing is subjective, right? It's going to depend on most of the variables that are listed there. How you maintain your tablet, how you maintain your S Pen, how you use it, how you hold it, how often you use it. So for students, for example, who are going to be taking a lot more notes than I do, for example, theirs is probably going to, their S Pen is probably going to fray a little bit more, a little faster than mine is. Again, just look at it as something that needs a little bit of upkeep. Now, if I were the type of person who's always taking notes on his tablet, then I would probably just go on Amazon and grab some extra tips so that when, the one that I'm using, once that goes, I just go ahead and replace it. Either way, I hope this was informative and that this helps your purchasing decision. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, of course, as always. I'm going to catch you in the comment section, and I'm also going to catch you in the next video, and up until then, stay safe out there.